data flow. Okay, so basically, let me open the window file. This is the window file here. So if you see, this is having employee related details. Okay, employee ID, name, salary, department number, and department name. So basically, we have one transformation called as a window transformation. So using this window transformation, what we can achieve. So here, if you see, right, we can make use of this particular department name column. So on this column, if we apply this window transformation, what will happen? So basically, you have, if you see here, you have developer role. We have how many developer roles we have? Department name, or else in this particular role, we have developer one, two, three, three different developers we have. So when you apply this window transformation on a particular column, what you will be getting? You will be getting something like this. Okay, so basically when you apply window transformation on this particular file, you get is similar to this. So what have I done here? Here I have achieved this window transformation on this particular department name column. So using this department name column, basically it will actually get me all the uh, here if you see, I have developer three times. So those three developers will be at one place. Okay, it is something like a window. In a particular window, right, you will be having all the similar kind of elements or similar kind of departments name are present, right? So those will be gathered at one place and those will be displayed. Similarly, this is for the first window. So till here it will be your first window. So this will be your first window, and after that, what is the second one? It is my senior software engineer. So how many senior software engineers are there? I have three different senior software engineers. So this will be my second window. All right, this will be my second window. Similarly, software and assistant software like that. So whatever are the different kinds of departments name present, those all will be categorized at one position and those will be displayed in the format of windows. Okay, so this one I'll try to explain you in the portal. So it is clear, right? So basically you have one input file, and based on one particular column you are trying to apply this window transformation. So what does this window transformation do? It will actually give you all the results at one place. Okay, so this will be your first window. Initially it will go with the first one, so developer will be my first one. So initially developer will be one window, and after that we have senior software engineer, so that would be categorized into second window, and similarly like that 3 4 5 different kinds of windows will be displayed. Okay, if you want to achieve this all department names at one place window wise, we will make use of this window transformation. So let me go to the portal, let me add a source, and even before that let me browse the file here. Input container. Here I will upload the file, window file. Now I'll go to the portal, I'll create a new data set, which is my blob storage, CSV file, underscore, blob underscore, something, some name, link the service, first row as header as it's a CSV file. Just browse the file, input container, window file.csv. From connection store, it will import the schema. All right. Okay, so here let me just quickly preview the data. Okay, so this is the file which I've considered. Let me close it. So this is your first step, and after that you have something called as a window transformation. Okay, so if you just click on the schema modifiers, right, you have something called as a window transformation. So basically using this window transformation, this is a schema modifier. So let me just make use of this, and then finally sync. Okay, let me go to the window transformation, and here you will have to apply the settings. So here what do I have? Window stream. So if you want, you can just rename it, and this is your incoming stream. So this is your incoming stream, right? There is only one incoming stream, so that is why it is this source one. If you want, you can also rename it. And then you have few options here. Okay, so what are the different options which are available here actually? So if you consider this one, right, we will be having something called as over column. So on which column do you want to apply this window transformation? So coming to this particular file, so I want to perform this window transformation on a column which is my
Hello,
department.
ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. The
Yeah,
screen got stuck, ma'am.
is it the same for everybody, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Screen is
ma'am.
stuck.
Yes, ma'am. And you're breaking.
Breaking.
Yeah, ma'am.
Sometimes
Mm,
me చాలా fast వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
okay, 1 minute. Check now and let me know. All right, so basically we have something called as a window transformation. So when you use this window transformation, you have a column called as over column, right? So over is something like on which column do you want to apply this window. So if you go back to the file, I have a department name column on which I want to apply this particular window transformation. All right, so I'll make use of this department name. Let me go back. Let me browse for that department name. Okay, so basically I want to apply this window transformation on my department name. Okay, so that is why I have chosen this particular department name column. All right, so after that, if you go back again, if you see this, you want to have this particular, this window will be sorted, like you will be getting different developers will be at one place. So if there are 10 different developers, not all developers will be having the same department number, right? Like it will be having 10, 20, 30, like that, different numbers will be present. So if you want to apply this sorting, right, so basically you will have to apply this sorting. So on which column you can sort it, you can either sort it by your department number. Okay, if you sort it in ascending order, then you'll be getting something like 10, 20, 30, like that you'll be getting. Or else if you want to apply sorting on this particular salary, right, so if a person is getting the least salary should be the first at the first place, and then the second least, like that. If you want to sort, you can also sort it using this particular employee salary column. All right, so let me go back. Is it fine now? Is my screen fine now, or else are you still
Yes,
facing this
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
fine now? Okay. So here you can just go with the salary column, and whatever you want, right, you can just specify that. If you want it in ascending order you can just give. If you want in descending order, whatever sorting fashion you want, you can just make use of that. Here we will not be able, this is not that important. Okay, so basically this column is the important column because this is where we will be performing our over column. Over means we'll be applying a window transformation on this particular column, and after that if you want to apply this sorting, you can apply it like based on which column you want to apply the sorting, on a salary column or department number column, and whatever column you want to sort it, you can just sort it. And then here you will have to apply the condition. Okay, so here you will have to actually specify the condition. So if you see here, it is actually asking me to write the expression. Okay, so here you can just write any expression. So let me go back to the file here. So on which particular thing do I want to apply this thing, you can just specify any of the expression. So let me just write something like Let me just data preview it. 1 minute. Let me use it on an aggregation function here. You can use any particular aggregate function, like we have different kinds of aggregations, like minimum, maximum, sum, average, whatever. So let me just make use of max of salary. Save and finish. Okay, now let me quickly preview the data. Duplicate column name salary found. Okay, here we are trying to sort it, and then I have tried to apply this on this only, right? Okay. Let me use this department number. Privilege. Meanwhile, let me give my sync. Output to a single file. Just specify any file name. So here you should select set single partition, and then you'll just specify the file name. What is that? Window file .csv. And go back to your window transformation and let us see if this has been sorted or not. So if you observe here, I am able to get department name in a window fashion. If you see here, all this senior software engineer at one place, and software at one place, developer at one place, and assistant. Okay, if you observe this, this has been fetched incorrectly. So let me just quickly correct it. Okay, so basically here what have I achieved using this window transformation? I have made use of the salary column. Here initially I'm trying to sort this particular salary column in descending order. So initially what will happen? Here I'm getting something called as department name. So the on this particular department name column, I'm trying to apply this window transformations, right? So here we have different kinds of categories, actually: assistant software, developer software, and senior software. So basically these all initially these all will be placed at one particular location. The same roles will be placed at one particular place. So similarly developer, similarly software, and senior software. All right. So after that, now it will consider this, and on this it will try to apply the sorting. So in which fashion did you choose the sorting? You have chosen it in the format of descending order. So that is why you will be getting something like descending order. Okay, so for this particular record I am having something as 50,000, 50,000, 10,000, and 10,000. So basically if you sort it in descending order fashion, what are you able to achieve? You will be able to achieve something. This particular salary will be in the descending order fashion. The highest number will come first, similarly the next highest, and the next highest. So if you just so basically using this particular this particular column, right, you can achieve what you can achieve. So using this you can achieve something like you can just not grouping, but you can just get all the similar values at one place in the format of window. So not only that window kind of thing, you can also perform this sorting also. Okay, if you want to sort that based on any particular value, right, you can also sort it based on that. Okay, so if I just publish it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hmm?
For the salary discerning order, it will be 65 and 50 and something on we have to get it right.
Yeah, it is 65 only, na? 65, 35.
But 65, 55 and so on, we need to get it. But we got this.
So in this windows, it will sort actually. We are sorting on this particular windows, right?
Okay.
So basically, it
So
will
we
consider the
need to just
windows.
concentrate on the Windows what we are
Yeah.
giving, like department
Yes.
name
So
only.
if you want to
Okay.
sort based on the windows, you will go with this approach. Okay. Or else you
Okay.
have normal sorting also, right? You can just apply that sorting on
Yes.
any column.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Mm. All right. So after that, what do you have? You have pivoting. So like we have this window transformation, right? We have another transformation also, which is called as pivot transformation. Let me just close this. Okay. All right. So basically, you have something called as a pivot transformation. So what is this pivoting? We have pivot transformation, and another one is unpivot transformation. So using this pivot and unpivot, what we can achieve? So pivot is something like if you see here, this is the input. Okay, this is the input. So from here till here, it is the input. All right. So this is the input till here. This is just, you don't consider this. Just look at this particular. Columns till here, till total column, till G column, you just consider. So we are having a file which is having some order related details. So using this pivoting, what can be, what we can achieve? So basically pivot is used to, you will be having different rows, and if you want to convert, so if you see here, you have different kinds of rows. So if you want to convert these rows to columns and make a new table out of it, you will go with pivot. So when do you use this pivoting? If you want to convert or change rows into columns and then make a new table, you will go with pivots. So if you see here, this will be the input for your pivot table, and what will be the output? So basically it will be something like this. Okay, I'll tell you how to achieve this, how to actually get through this particular output, I'll be telling. So for now, just understand that this is my source table, and considering this source data, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to achieve a pivot transformation on this data. So once I apply this pivot transformation, we will be having something called as pivot keys. On which category, on which column do you want to apply this pivoting? So basically here, if you see, I'm trying to apply this pivoting on this region and this item. So basically I have told you, right, like basically if you want to convert rows to columns, you make use of this. So here I have something called as pencil, binder, pen. I have different kinds of item categories I have here. So now my intention is, considering this particular item category, these are rows, right? Currently these are rows. So using this item category, I want to convert these rows to columns, something like this. All right. So here I have binder, pen, pencil. So these are all the different kinds of columns, different kinds of rows which are available inside my item category, and I want them to be transposed or converted from rows to columns. So how do I achieve that? In order to achieve that, I'll have to make use of a pivot transformation. So even before applying the pivot, how can you achieve actually these? So initially you will have to apply one aggregation operation. Aggregation is something like group by. So you will have to initially make a particular, if you see here, right, I have something called as a region. So if I want to achieve something like this, then I will have to make use of a group by transformation, and I have to group by a particular region. So if I group by a particular region, what all are the different regions are present? East I have, central I have, west I have. So I have three different regions. Okay. So basically, if you apply this group by transformation on a particular column, which is a region, I will be able to group all the similar columns at one place. So east will be at one place, east will be one, central will be gathered and it would be placed at one place, and then west will be at one. So here, unlike window transformation, window will actually gather all the elements, and if there are 10 different east are present, so what it will do, it will return you 10 different east regions. It will give you at one place. But coming to this pivoting, what it will do, since we are trying to apply this some aggregation operation, which is a group by, so if you might be having some 10 different east regions also, it will group all together and only a single east region will be displayed. Suppose you have 5 different central regions, those all will be grouped by, and only a single central will be displayed. And after that, similar to the west and northeast or whatever. So how many ever regions are present, right? If you are trying to apply a group by transformation, only one particular unique value will be displayed, something like this. Okay. So now this is my input and this is my output. This is how I want it. So how can we achieve this particular transformation, this particular rows to columns conversion? I can do it by using our pivot transformation. So let me go to the portal and show you. If underscore pivot, let me upload the file. Test test Azure files, CSV files. This is some other file.
The name will be pivot new, ma'am. I think the file name will be pivot new.
Let me see. Actually, this should not be the input because we are having this also, right? So that is another example. Okay, no problem. I'll just save this file only. What happened? Where did it got saved? Desktop test files. Better. Okay. Let me quickly create a data set. One minute. All right. So after that, here you have something called as pivot. So this is something like a schema modifier. So why is it present inside the schema modifier? Because we are trying to change the schema, right? So we are trying to change the number of columns. So that is why it is present under schema modifier. Let me make use of that. Finally, give it to a sync. Okay. Go to the pivoting here. All right, so initially you have something like, so these are normal common settings which you're already aware of. So after that you have something called as group by, pivot key and pivoted columns. So actually if you make use of this particular group by column, right, so what am I actually trying to group by? So here you will have to give some column on which you want to perform this group by. So let me go to the file here. Okay, so this is my input file. So for this file I want to apply this. So this is my input file and I want my output to be something like this. Okay, so if you want to achieve something like this, what is the first step you want to do? You will have to consider this file, you want to convert it to this file, right? So you have something called as a group by option. So if you see here, on which column do you want to apply this group by? I want to apply this group by on my region column. Okay, let me go back here. So let me search for region column. Okay, all right. So here what am I just trying to do? I'm just trying to give this column for my group by. So if I use this, what will it return me? Actually it will return me east, central, west. So if you see what all are the unique values are present, those all values will be at one place. Okay, if you just use this group by operation, group by function, what it will do, what all are the similar kind of values are present, those all will be grouped by, combined, and only one unique value will be displayed. So here I will only be getting three different records. One is east, one is central, and the third one is west. All right, so that you can achieve using this group by functionality. All right, so after just performing this east, west and central, after getting this, what do you want to do? I want something like, I want to transpose my rows to columns, right? I want to convert my rows to columns. So on which column do you want to apply this transformation? I want to apply it on my items column. So for that, let me just specify item category here. Okay, so basically on which column pivoting is what? Pivoting means there will be something called as a pivot key. On which column do you want to transpose the rows to columns? So here I have pencil, pen, binder, these all rows I have. I want to convert these rows to columns. So I'll have to make use of this item category, because this is the column, right, on which I'm having different kinds of rows. So I will just make use of this items column here. All right, so after that, what do you have? You can just make use of this pivoted column. So here, right, you will have to, since you are making use of this group by transformation, you will have to make use of this aggregation operation. So basically when you're trying to group by, you will have to perform some aggregation operation, or else it will throw you an error. So here let me just give any you can just specify any particular expression, not an issue. So it's just that I want some table like this. Okay, so here I am, what am I trying to do here in this particular output? How did I achieve that? So actually I have something called as units, I have unit cost, I have. So for a particular category, suppose if you consider this particular pens category, if I group by east region, I have different east region. So initially it will gather all those regions, and I want to perform some aggregation operation. So aggregation operation is something like, some computation, something like arithmetic, or some maximum, minimum, whatever you want to perform, you can perform. So here I want to perform this on this particular column. Okay, I want to combine these. Actually I am grouping by east region, right? So under this particular column, under east, what all are having pencils, so I want to add all those pencils. Okay, so I'll just try to perform some arithmetic operation. You can just perform any operation. I'm just performing some operation here. Okay, so here you can just specify whatever the whatever you want, you can just specify that. So let me just write the expression here. Let me go to the expression builder. So here I will specify some expression. So I'll be giving something like where is some? Okay. All right. So on which do I want to apply this sum? I have something called as units. So usually, actually in here, right, I just want to calculate for a particular east region, for a particular pencil category, how many units are present, how many pencils are present, how many pens are present. If I want to perform that particular arithmetic calculation, I am just specifying what is the column name here? Units. All right, let me save and finish. So okay, if you see here, sum expects number type of argument. So actually it sum of units is nothing but it is your actually sum you can perform only on arithmetic, like integer related values. But if you see here, what do I have? I have something like ABC is nothing but what? It is a string. So either I can typecast it here, or else I can just go to the schema and I can change it. Home. Here I have something called as to integer function. You can just make use of that particular to integer function. So let me just see. Sum expects a number type of argument. Okay, so here I have converted, but then I'm still getting the issue. Sum expects number type of. Okay, let me go back and see what is the schema for this. Okay, here it is string. You can either change it here. So one method is you can go here and you can change it to the integer, and the other method is you can just write the expression here. Let me go back. Okay, so actually here, right, this sum should come in the beginning. So let me just correct that. What am I trying to do now? Initially I'm trying to apply this sum, and after that sum of units, right? So here let me convert it to integer, and then inside that let me specify units. Now I should not get error. Okay, so this is one way you can do it, or else you can go to the particular source. Here also you can change it. Farzana, 1 minute. Okay, so you can either go and change it here to integer. Okay, that also will work, or else you can just follow this approach also. Okay, anything, any ways is fine, you will be able to achieve it. So here what am I trying to do? I'm only actually trying to perform sum of units. So if I just make use of this particular aggregation function, what I'll be getting for a particular east region, for a particular item category as pencil, how many total units are present. I just want those particular I want something like this. So this will be achieved. This particular output is there, right? This will be achieved when you make use of these particular information which I've just specified. So let me preview the data here. Let me refresh it. Meanwhile, let me go to the sync. Output single file, set single partition, just specify some name, pivot output.csv. Okay. Okay, so if you see here, did we achieve it? So actually, if you just see here, right, I have something like I have appended this pivot also, right? So why is that? Because here when I'm trying to do it in the last column, I have just specified this one. So if you just remove it, right, only the normal column will be whatever column names you are specifying, right? So whatever column names are present, like binder, pen set, those all will be displayed. So let me just refresh that as well. All right, so if you see here, I have, what did I achieve here? Actually, I have transposed. So this was my source file, this was my source file, this file I have taken, and I was able to use this pivot transformation. I have grouped by this particular region column. I have grouped by this region column, and then I've made use of this pivot key. What is the pivot key here? On which I want to transpose my rows to columns. Item is the actually it is the column name on which I want to apply this pivot key. So after that, I have just performed some aggregation function. So this aggregation function is very important when you are dealing with group by function. Just remember that. All right, so if you see here, this is what we have achieved. Let me just publish it. Let me initially create a new pipeline and execute it end to end. Real underscore pivot. Here I should drag and drop my data flow. Let me make use of the pivot data flow here. When you double click it, it will take you to that particular thing. Let me go to the pipeline, quickly validate it. Sync cannot contain a file name. Okay. So here I already have window file.csv, which shouldn't be the case. All right. So that is why I'm getting error. Let me quickly validate it and debug it. It will take a little time because we are trying to execute it end to end. No, data flows will take little time. So what was the output? Where am I trying to store it here again? Input only I'm storing. Okay. Okay, seems like the file has been moved. Yeah. So if you see here, what did we achieve? So this is the same information as this particular category. Okay. So here, this is the output. Okay. I've just copy pasted that particular output from this, from here to here. Okay. So basically what am I trying to achieve here? I've just tried to achieve this functionality. So basically this is my input file, and this is after applying this pivot transformation I'm able to achieve something like this. Okay, so let me just quickly tell you one specific. I'll just try to add one thing to check if whatever output you have received it is correct or not. How can you do that? Go for this central, and here I just want to calculate this particular pen category because this is the lowest number, right? So let me calculate this one, central pen. So go to the central and go to the pen central. Okay, here I have 27. If you see here, this is the column wherein I have item as 27. And let me see if I have any other centrals which are having pens. Pencil, 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 binder, inset, pencil. Okay, so here we do not have any other category under pen. So that is why, since we have only central as under pen category as 27, we are getting that. After that, let me cross check something else also, like okay, let me check with east pen set. East, east, where is east? East with pen set. Okay, here I have 74, right? So just 74 plus. Okay, it is only 74, right? East 74. So similarly, like central binder, let me just check that also. Central binder, this will be the one. So 50 plus central binder, where is the other one? Central binder. 50 plus 28, 78 plus 46 plus 87. Calculated, you will be getting 211. Okay, clear, right? So this is how you can cross check whatever input you are getting, whatever input you are giving, are we getting the exact output or not? You can just cross check like this. Okay, why did I add it? Because I am trying to perform a sum of units, right? So that is why I am adding this particular units. Okay, clear, guys? Any doubts, let me know. Clear, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. For me, it's okay, ma'am.
Okay, anybody, any doubts, let me know, because this will be your input file. Okay, let me just copy it. Control S, pivot out dot csv. Desktop test files. I'll just specify pivot output.csv file. Okay. So now this is for pivoting part. So for unpivoting part, what will be the input? If you just go here for my unpivot, this is pivoting, right? So if you apply pivoting, this will be the case. If you apply pivot for on this particular data, you will be getting something like this. This will be the output. So now unpivoting is what? It is just the vice versa of pivoting. So here you are just trying to group by a particular region. Here what you will do, it is just the opposite of your pivoting. So this is your unpivot. So in this unpivot, what you will be doing, you will be transposing the columns to rows. If you go back here, here what are we doing? We are converting the rows into columns. In the unpivoting, what can be done? We are just trying to transpose or else convert back columns to rows. Okay, so this is what we can achieve using our unpivot transformation. So for that, what will be the input? This will be the input. Okay, all right. So after this, we will be having something like ungroup by, unpivot by key. So we will be having few scenarios. So let me just go to the portal. This will be the input. Okay, so here this will be the input. Let me go here. Let me quickly publish it first. Okay, let me close all the tabs. Data flow, new data flow, unpivot, data flow underscore unpivot. create a new data set, blob, CSV file for unpivot. First row is header. Just point to the file where you have your input. So where is my input here? I have it inside my pivot auto.csv file. So let me just specify that. Okay. So after that, which one do you have to choose? You will have to choose unpivot schema modifier, unpivot transformation, and then finally sync. Okay. All right. So initially this one here, nothing, no change I need to do because the schema is already imported. Let me go to my unpivot. If you just see here, right, if you just correlate it with the previous one, pivot one, you had something called as group by, pivot key, and pivoted columns. So here what do you have? Ungroup by, unpivot key, and unpivoted columns. Why is that? I have told you, right, this is just the vice versa of pivot. So here you will have to select a column on which you want to ungroup by. So initially on which column did we group by? We have applied group by on region column, right? So we have applied group by on region column. So if you apply group by, what it will give you? It will give you all the values combined, unique values it will give. So if you're trying to ungroup by, that means it is just the opposite of your group by. So here what it will do, I'm trying to ungroup by on this particular region. So now how many ever regions are present, right? So those many values will be displayed. Okay, so let me just click on this column here. Ungrouped by region is my region, ungrouped by column is my region. Okay, so that is your first scenario. And after that, what am I trying to achieve here? Initially I wanted to convert rows to columns in the pivot. Here I want to convert columns to rows, right? So what is the column on which I want, what is the pivot key on which I want to apply here? So this was the column on which we have applied our pivot key, right, previously. So here also I want to I want to actually apply this unpivoting. So these are okay, this one, right? Sorry, this is the input, right, for me. Okay, so here I'm trying to ungroup by this specific region. Okay, ungroup by this specific region, and then I want to apply, these are the different columns, right? So now I want to convert these columns to rows. Okay. So if I want to convert these columns to rows, where do I have this binder, pen, pencil, these all? So these are nothing but item category, right? So you can just specify any specific column name. You can just specify any particular column name here. So it can be of your choice. So let me just give item category. Okay, so on which column type do you want to convert this? So basically, if you just see here, this is something like integers. Okay, these are the integer values and this is a string value, right? Just make use of the string category here. So item categories, what is this particular, if you add any particular schema also, suppose if you are trying to add a new column, so for that specific column you will have to specify the data types also, right? So similarly here I'm just trying to add a new column which is my item category, and using that item category, what values will be present inside that item category? I'll be having my string values. Okay, so these are nothing but your binder, pen, pencil, those things. So those are actually what? Those are string values, right? So that is why I've just chosen this particular value here. All right. So after that, what can I do? I will have to perform this ungroup by on a specific rows are present, right? On the specific columns, I will have to ungroup by, and here I'll just have to specify some um, arithmetic expression. Okay. So here also I'll just try to perform the same sum of units. So here, right, when you're trying to ungroup by, you can actually ungroup by only a specific column. Okay, suppose if you go here, right, what do you have? You have binder, pen, pen set, pencil. So you cannot just ungroup by all the columns. So if you just ungroup by all the columns, what you will be getting? You will be getting entire this source file you will be getting. But that is not what I want. What I want actually, I only want to ungroup by a specific column. Okay, so let me just give anything here. Let me just give binder only here because we have already have binder, right? So it will be easy for us to just calculate it. Okay, so here I'll just here what do you have? You have something called as unpivoted columns. Here let me just specify binder column here, and if you see there is some error, it seems. Okay, no error. Let me just click on this data preview, refresh it. So once you do this, right, this thing I have taken a sample from Google itself, CSV file. You can download the sample CSV file, any data, at least if you have some 50 rows, right, just take that file as an input and perform this pivoting and unpivoting. All right. Okay. So this is what you have achieved. So now let me quickly compare it. So if you execute this scenario end to end, right, what you will be getting, you will be getting this particular region category, and after that item category will be binder, pen, pen set, pencil. So these are the 4 different categories we have, right? If you just see here, what do we have? We have binder, pen, pen set, pencil. Okay, so under this particular region, I'm ungrouping by this particular region. So inside that, how many different values I'm having inside the central region? I'm having 4 values. Okay, so pen, pen set. So do not worry about this percentile 20. That is because space is present, right? So I've just copy pasted it. So that is why I've got something like this. Okay, so you can just ignore it. Pencil. All right, so here I'm trying to ungroup by a specific region, which is my central region. And after that, how many categories are present inside my this particular region? I have 4 different categories. What are they? Binder. If you see here, binder, pen, pen set, pencil. So those all are displayed here. Okay, so after that, what am I trying to do? I'm just trying to unpivot by column. What am I trying to use here? If you see here, unpivoted columns, on which column did I apply here? I have tried to apply on binder. I have tried to apply only on binder, so that is why I'm getting this particular binder. So if you see here under binder, how many I have? 211. So let me just cross check with this table if it is correct or not. Okay, so here I have binder. So here under central binder 211, under central, under binder I have 211. That is fine. After that, central pen 27, central pen 27, central pen set 146, central pen set 146, central pencil 424, central pencil 424. Okay, that means on this particular table we have tried to, this is my input, this is the pivoted file, right? So this is my input to my unpivoted file. So I'm trying to apply unpivot on this. So unpivoting means what? Transposing columns to rows. So here what are the columns I have? Binder, pen, pencil. These all are the different columns. Those I'm again trying to convert it into rows. Okay, so here I have only applied on one specific column. You can apply it on all the different columns here. So if you apply all the different columns, what you will be getting? You will be getting this file. Okay, let me just do that as well. So here what do you have? You have plus, right? Just click on add here. Add. Okay. Just select here what all I have. I have pen set, I have pen, I have pencil. Okay, let me quickly data preview it. Let me refresh it. Now what you will be getting? You will be getting your original file. All right, so here I only got my few cases, right? Like on this binder I have. So you will be getting all these. You will basically getting all these. Okay, actually central, how many centrals are there under that particular category, how many east are there under each and every category. So basically you will be getting the total cost. Okay, you will be getting binder, pen, pen set, pencil, 3 more columns, and along with that those appropriate values you will be getting. Okay, yeah, so why didn't we get a few values here? That is because there is no combination available. Okay, so actually there is no combination available, so that is why we are getting something like this. If there is any particular combination available, we would have fetched those values also. Okay, so let me just delete this. Remove, remove, remove. If there are any particular values, so for central binder, so for central region, for binder there is only 211. So for central pen there is only 27. So there will be another category, right? So for that particular category, if you want to achieve, how can you achieve? You will have to go here and change this. Okay, so let me quickly do this. since you are trying to perform aggregation and you cannot perform aggregation on multiple columns, right? So suppose you are getting some data similar to, if you just go back here, you are getting this central binder 211, central binder 211. So for this particular category, you will not be having pen, you will not be having pen set, right? So that is why you are getting null values. Okay, so you can use this unpivoting on a single column and not on all the columns at a time, because if you just use all the columns at a time, also those corresponding values will not be present. It will be obviously an empty value. So if it is an empty value, it will be considering it as okay. Okay, so some previously I have shown you how to make use of this. Previously, I have just given something called as binder, right? So now I have just specified some name here, which is a pen name. Okay, so this is how you can make use of your unpivoted columns. This is basically to transport your columns to rows. Is it clear, guys? Were you able to understand this pivoting and unpivoting concept? Since I have not specified the data set, it seems. Why? I assume I have browsed it. Anybody, any doubts, guys? Anybody, any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Let me know.
No
Okay,
doubt.
so what you will do is you just go through this particular scenario. Okay, take some data, or else you can just take any data which is available in the Google. Just make use of that data and then try to apply this window transformation. So for window transformation, you will have to have appropriate data. Only then it will work. Only then you will be able to see the data. All right, see the output. Okay.